Nice. I even changed it to where people can, after they listen to what we say, they can even buy from us now, just from watching the YouTube channel. It's pretty neat. Hello, Tim. Welcome to the new media room.
Yes. Yes, new media.
New media. For all of you watching at home, it's not much of a change for you, but it's a change for us. But we're just going to jump right in here. Welcome back to another episode of Tech Tuesday. My name is Ben.
I'm Tim.
And we will get rolling with the questions as per usual. Any thoughts, quibbies, quarrels, fashion statement tips, Tim, before we get started?
Support your local speed shops.
This is true. This is very
true.
true.
Car shows, be cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Absolutely.
Spend too much money on a blower.
Yeah.
Your kid don't really need braces that you need a blower.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
This is what you need to learn when you tune into a Tech Tuesday. These are the key things. All right. Well, then, without further ado, while you clicked on this video, we will jump into question 1. DSims6, your email support is awesome. Once you get in touch with somebody, they bend over backwards for you. I've been talking to the other Tim over there and just wanted to give him a shout out. He's great. I would love to see your new series consist of someone screwing up an install or you breaking it on purpose and how to diagnose and fix it. That's pretty good. That is probably one of the best comments I've seen in a while.
That's kind of part of the install series we're doing on stuff because we haven't finished editing the first videos yet, but when they come out, it's going to be all the normal stuff, the install, this, that, and the other, but the end of it, that's the key. It's going to be all the diagnostics where I will break a thing, and then we'll look at data and figure out how to fix it.
You already
2 hours worth of that, probably.
Sure. You already do that with your tech training program.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too much into that, but
we do break a thing or two just for fun.
Yep. Yeah,
or
absolutely.
Or getting the weirdest configurations and all that. The final test to be a junior tech here is I'll take an Aces vehicle and I'll drive somewhere. You'll have to remote in, like I'll call, pretend to be a customer. At that point, I am a customer, so you have to do what you do. But I'm going to have something unplugged, something funny, and you're going to have to diagnose it, and then it's going to be a tuning problem, and then you have to dial in and then fix my tune to get me back to the warehouse.
Yep.
And points are deducted for not getting me back on time.
Yep. Sweet.
It's actually crazy harder than it seems when you're really on the spot with that kind of stuff because you have to perform.
Right. But that's the kind of stuff that you will find yourself in sometimes too, and why we get, and why we have a tech department.
I'll read the one that I'm capable of reading. Dominic Terry 12, Aces Calander for the people. Yes, I agree. For the people. Let's vote that up to the top of the thing. Yeah,
I saw that the other day, and I had somebody reach out to me about it. I'm totally down to make an Aces calendar. I don't think I've ever. Basically, if we're going to do this, you need to assemble your best pictures of your vehicle, and then we'll go from there. Is this something we sell or something we give away or both?
A little bit of both.
Probably both.
At first, we'll see what the hierarchy wants to do. I mean, it might be, depending on how we get it manufactured, it might be like just a few bucks type situation that we can actually like just throw in some orders.
Sure. I don't think that counts. That's not an actual question. You have to actually read a question.
I'm working real hard to scumbag you out of me having to read that
It's okay.
paragraph.
Come on, you got it.
Anthony's Resurrection Garage.
Yes.
I got my Killshot and top-end kit this week. Everything is very nice and well packaged. Yeah, we try. It truly is an amazing value for the price. I like the fact that you guys are privately owned.
Yes,
it's true.
That's a big deal.
Hopefully you don't get bought out by the giants. H word. I'm looking forward to those videos of the advanced tuning software, more in-depth video and use, operations, tips, and tricks. Thanks for your efforts, guys. Keep up the good work. I agree.
Yeah,
we are doing it for the people out
there. For the people.
And, you know, it's starting to show through in some of the stuff. Every once in a while we get an occasional troll in, but then we get some people that we've interacted with and really helped out and help understand this.
Right.
Even if it's just a phone call in about one basic thing that turns into a lesson.
Right.
But, you know, we try to do our best.
Yeah. No, I think one of the biggest things that I see from a lot of these comments is the focus on the advanced tuning software and videos for the advanced tuning software. Now, as you say, not everybody can speak nerd, and I don't know if I'm in that category totally, but I do know that there are a bunch of people who want to know more and as much as possible about the advanced tuning software. So as these things are coming up, and I know that I have to edit them, there's a lot of things coming up to say, but what are the things that they should be looking forward to and things that we're already planning on, and then that can give them a gauge as well for what they should be looking to ask for later on. That's a big question. I just decided to give you that curveball. So
stuff, things, and whatnots mainly.
Yeah, obviously.
I mean, like I was talking about a minute ago, and like what the request was is to make an install diagnostic video of getting it wrong. I mean, you guys, most of you have seen my basic YouTube stuff and all that. And I did do a thing a little bit on the advanced tuning software with a Tahoe, and let me tell you, I went from 13-ish miles to the gallon to this last trip back from Central Kentucky. I got a tick over 16, and that's without the torque converter lockup working.
Yeah,
and I just haven't hooked it up because I'm busy/lazy, but that was just basic tuning. I did show it in there, and I did get pulled over because in Tennessee you shouldn't have your phone in your hand, nor should you have a laptop screen open with the finest tuning software, and they ask a lot of questions. I got a warning. It was funny, but don't do that.
Yep.
So says Tennessee Highway Patrol.
We do not encourage this. We can't condone this. We
don't.
Cannot encourage this.
I'm not encouraging anything.
I don't even know if I'm going to leave it in.
You need to. But the thing is, it's just, if you're going to be doing a laptop tune, make sure to have a battle buddy with you holding a laptop and doing the thing. So, you probably don't get pulled over.
That we can condone. Good job. I'm proud of you. You read a question. And I put you on the spot, too, but you're used to that, so. All right, Where's My 10mm says, would you guys be able to add a GPS-based odometer function? We have gotten that question quite a bit. It is extremely helpful for us who are with no stock dashes at all. As always, thanks for these videos.
That's absolutely not an offensive question at all. And that's something that after we finish refining the stuff that we're currently working on, and we're looking at how to make things even better down the road, that'll be something that we may look at for some of the larger dashes.
Sure.
Or have the ability to track it in the background to where if you want to know your Odo, you can just go and check it out.
Right.
But it's something that's going to be kind of a clearable situation like a tripometer. So
what about stuff with advanced digital dashes like Dakota and stuff like that? Is something
they may already
can
have
we
that.
Already do something like that
and
through
it won't
them?
be anything to do with ours. It'll be something to do with theirs because they'll be tracking miles per hour, pulses per mile, all that jazz. It'll be a whole different thing. Some of those will already have it. My Tahoe, I'm using a stock factory dash, but I mean that's stuff I can't tell people to do because it's risky behavior. I'm in the business of blowing up ECUs for testing purposes.
Testing purposes.
Well, good fun.
I mean, yes and no.
Brent Baylor?
Beelier.
7551. On secondary wiring harness, what does fuel level, rev, and programmable ground do or for? Cool beans. Well, the rev, weirdly enough, is, let me see.
This is... Yeah,
the fuel level is going to be the fuel level input. It's going to be resistance input value that will be turning on in the software at some point, and then you'll start seeing it populated in a lot more of the harnesses. It's not in every harness. Some of them we've removed just because of the fact it's there and it's causes a lot of phone calls. But when that stuff comes on live, it'll be a thing where you can see it and do it, and it's there, and it'll be. I'll have a nice PDF, maybe a video about how to set that up and get it cracking just right. The programmable ground, it's nothing we have active yet. It's another future expansion. That's going to be about a 2-amp ground trigger for various things. So it might be kind of a custom output for ground to trigger something by rev limiter or RPM or what other parameters we want to add in there. That's just something we're going to have a deeper conversation at a higher level about to figure out what does people on average want to add in there to make it really cool.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We do say that a lot, though, that this is for future expansion. But we do mean that. That is an actual thing.
It's not just a thing we're being lame and being like, oh, it's a future thing.
It's a future thing.
No, we're actively working on these future expansion things, but we're not in a massive hurry to throw them all out there and just have just have it be a big piece of trash.
Right.
It's
And
like,
it makes it easier for you, who already has the system and
Mm-hmm.
will want those things in the future as well.
so true.
Anthony's Resurrection Garage again says, is the fuel pressure input only for display information, or does the ECU use this input for calculations?
I've got a secret.
Just-
but
I was going to say, I was going to answer display only, but you may know something.
display for now, but the fuel pressure input, when set up in that configuration, it'll be a thing where instead of having to go in there and change the pressure, it'll automatically look at the fuel pressure and then mess with some stuff. At some point, we're not like, that's another thing that it's going to take a lot of R&D and testing and making sure it's correct.
But that's the goal.
That's kind of the goal. That's why there's some, in the engineering level software, there's some other parameters in there where like, oh, maybe I should turn this on. But nah, I'm not going to do that yet.
Yeah. Chavez2923 says, is there a way to have imperial miles per hour in temp, but have your map read KPA on the handheld? I don't believe so at this time.
We're not going to split that up too much yet. We did have map just in KPA for the longest time, but more people wanted it in PSI and vice versa. On the handheld is a whole headache. But at some point, there'll be a thing where when you're selecting parameters, like if you're above the border kind of deal or anywhere else in the world, and you want to see it in C or KPA or what have you not, or KPH.
I totally keep hitting my microphone. Sorry.
So that'll be a thing where we can select certain values in the future down the road with a new update about, what value you can see and what kind of thing. Do you guys have another device to hold the handheld 5-inch or other window mount, such as something that doing? Yeah, I got you. The suction cup's giving up on you. You'll see that in summertime, even though that's a real sticky one. Mine's been on there really good, but I had to alcohol the window to death, let it dry, stick it on there just the right way. It's fine. But there's a couple people out there in the world that is actually 3D printing column mounts and bezels and things. I'm getting a sample from a super nice guy that in the next Tech Tuesday I will show you, and then do a little name dropping because he's a good dude and he does fine work. But I would like to show it. And the thing, even though it's not our product, we still like supporting people that's trying to do a good thing.
And helping us out. I mean, that's
absolutely.
a really cool thing.
And he gave me some free stuff, so I might as well be like, hey, this guy right here did this thing.
All right. Raw Garage says, just got the Royal Flush installed. Car is running better than ever. Self-tuning takes some time, but I don't have an issue walking out and hitting the key and knowing that it's going to start. Videos coming soon on review and install, so check him out.
Sweet.
Editing takes time on big videos. Small block Ford. New Edge. Don't tell Daniel.
A New Edge? It's funny. I was working on the New Edge Ford just this last weekend because the e-brake switch was all funny and the top wouldn't go down. And also, it's low on fluid, so now the top doesn't go back up. Anywho, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah. He goes on to say these systems have so many options and are consistently adapting. Kind of what we've just been talking about this whole time.
Yeah.
These systems become worth more and more money with every free software update. Yes, software updates are free. Calling in for thoughts and suggestions on your system and how you've installed things, completely free. You've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. You've got, they've got some workarounds for that, maybe a restocking fee if it's beyond that 30-day mark and things like that. I don't want to get too far into that, but also a 1-year warranty.
Yeah, and for a very limited time, my opinion's free. I'd like to have a can splitter so my 7-inch display and my laptop can be hooked up at the same time. Yes, I agree, but knife hand activate. But the issue is that I've played around with a little bit. When it comes to the CAN ID, about it communicating with the ECU and the handheld and the laptop at the same time, it gives it a bit of a data transfer headache because it's such a high speed rate of CAN. The problem is it's pulling pretty hard in one direction, not the other, so it gets a little confusing. That is something that you will probably see in the future. Now that we have a CAN splitter and we're starting to expand our CAN network with how much data it's transferring because of aftermarket dashes and a few other things,
right,
that you will see a thing where it will be no problem other than doing ECU updates to plug in your laptop, your handheld, your ECU all at the same time and have it work. It's not a thing right now, but it's something we are looking into because it'll help a lot of folks out, especially the tuners out there in the world that don't want to pull someone's handheld apart and reach up on their dash and do all kinds of crazy stuff to try to access the CAN plug.
Fair enough. Anthony Resurrection Garage also says, I don't see 120 pound per hour injectors available on your website. If I upgrade my injectors, would the warranty be voided? Would running higher fuel pressure void warranty? If not, as an alternative, can you supply the pressure versus flow rates from these 100 pound injectors? What pressure do I need to match the 120 pound per hour injectors? Thanks. So long answer short answer to the question is yes, it would void your warranty if you're talking about a Killshot or a Royal Flush or Deuces Wild or something that has those 100 pound an hour injectors already built into the throttle body. Taking apart that throttle body does void the warranty. And that's not to say that you're a bad mechanic. That's just to say that we can't tell what happened. So that's the main thing. But secondly, I don't believe that you can change in the handheld up to those 120 pound an hour injectors already.
Depending on the system.
At least not on the Killshot, Royal Flush, and Deuces Wild, those TBI setups, right?
Just a Killshot. It's the only one.
Oh, just the Killshot? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, either way, you would need to bring that back in here to have it done by the tech department and approved by the tech department.
It's something we'd have to leak check and run to make sure it's going to be good and healthy for you, because that's a thing, because then it becomes kind of an R thing, and we can still extend the warranty. It's not a massive deal.
Right.
Smaller injector. I've run in bigger injectors and whatnot. Also, with those injectors where they're rated at 43.5 psi, 100 pounds an hour, if you crank them up to about 60, 65-ish, which is getting towards the top end of that, it'll flow that much more. You just got to do some basic math and figure out what kind of fuel pressure you need for that. I wouldn't go much above 65.
Correct.
Cook 91C. Can you use dual wideband O2 sensors on the Killshot? Is it capable of tuning each bank independently? Can you add NOx sensors? No and no. No NOx sensors on that, because there's no inputs for that controller. There's only one wideband because it is a throttle plate injection, so it has because of intake reversion, it has no way to balance out the left and the right bank, so it looks at the whole engine.
Yep.
So the throttle comes in the very top center, is distributed out to all the ports, depending on your intake design, fairly evenly, minus cylinder 7 usually, and then it samples it on the back end.
Yep.
So it just looks at it blind. It could be a giant 1-cylinder engine if you really wanted it to be, or a 10-cylinder engine. It's going to look at it the same. It's like, there's this much fuel and this much air doing this thing right here. Add more, add less.
Yep. We are running out of time, so we'll just come back with one more question here.
Oh, what's that? Andrew Richard 6185?
Yep.
Sorry, I missed that one first.
No, you're good.
Is there an option of using an MSD box with Killshot, Blackjet distributor, and still have a control of timing? If so, how does it wire in? Neat. So you plug in the old magnetic distributor locked out into our VR wire. No worries there. Select it as magnetic in the wizard. And then you're going to use the point output wire from our system to the point wire on the MSD box and hook up your coil to the MSD box, and it will just dumb fire that box and do a fine job controlling some timing.
Yep.
Dude, I had a customer earlier was doing a thing, and that's the direction we're going with it, because he's using an oddball coil that isn't really for our system, and it was like running to a rev limiter. It was real weird, but it just, such a beautiful fuel table we built for that thing. It was like nailed it. And then it stopped.
Nice.
But they're using a really weird coil that's odd internal dwell, odd resistance values.
It's not like one of those canister coils, is it?
It's kind of like a knockoff situation.
Oh no.
If you're plugging directly into our harness, we urge you to use our blackjack coil, because we already engineered our driver to work with that coil.
Right.
If you're using something else,
it's not that much more expensive to do. By the way,
not that much. It's pretty comparable with everybody else's same style coil. Ours is just higher energy
and way cheaper.
It's cheaper, but it's also high energy and a little bit different internal.
It's better and it's cheaper.
If you're using somebody else's coil, you want to use that with some kind of external driver, just because it may not play nice with our system. I hate seeing it when somebody smokes an ECU and they're using some just off-the-shelf canister coil, and they're like, this is fine. I've ran it for years. I'm like, on older systems it wasn't so sensitive.
Correct.
So,
I was also going to say, also in the manuals, Killshot, Royal Flush, otherwise, you also have 2 diagrams that are going to show you how to hook it up without a CDI box, but also with the CDI box. So check those out as well. Talks about exactly what Tim was covering there. Tech Tuesday, new media room, little bluish backdrop here.
Yeah, it's neat.
Another day in the office. It is what it is, but it's cool to have a little bit more space.
Well, this beats being out in the rain doing wheel bearings on the trailer.
Was that you?
What? Yeah.
Because I heard a noise and I was like, I have no idea who that is.
I've tasked everybody else in the tech department with other much larger things. The easy button was do what it is I do and then squeeze in doing some wheel bearings in between.
See, I got out of the car after we came back from Bowtie Nationals, and I just smelled, it was just not a pleasant smell.
Well, you know what that was?
What? Just the grease? That's what it was.
No, it was the electronic braking system dragging and overheating the whole wheel assembly.
How does that work?
Well,
or not how does that work, but how did...
It's not going to work anymore.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode of Tech Tuesday. If you liked it, please leave a like down below. If you have any questions about EFI or Aces EFI, also feel free to leave a comment down below. We'd be happy to get to that in the next Tech Tuesday video. If you see Aces Tech Tuesday media anywhere else on social media, feel free to show it some love. And Tim, thank you all so much again for watching, and we'll see all of you in the next video. Bye for now.
Bye now.